Welcome back, everyone, to Let It Cook. What is going on, boys?
What's up, guys?
What up? What up?
Good chat. How are
The
you?
3 different energy levels here today. 3 different coffees. Burke just hopped out of his car and onto his computer, so I get it. So
I did. I still got rain on my shirt.
Oh my gosh, is it pouring there? I've never seen outside
the
window. Look at that.
I see some green grass. The grass is looking good.
Oh yeah, the grass is looking real good. Someone's gonna have to take care of that this weekend. It'll be me.
That's you. That's the fun stuff. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome back. How was everyone's Microsoft build? That was like a week and a half ago.
Bro. What a freaking 2 days, man. That was crazy.
A lot of the VS Code stuff was all in one day too. So I think one day, like Wednesday, I started off at like 8:30. Burke and I got our makeup done and our hair did. And then we kicked off the live stream. And then I think I had 2 breakouts and was supposed to do another like live segment. I didn't end up doing it. And so like the team just kind of all Wednesday had all of that going on, and it was super fun. So like Wednesday was extremely intense, but super fun. And I think all of our sessions, at least the live stream and both the live coding and the like live stream, like with the sessions, as well as like all the build breakouts are all on the website and YouTube. Is that right, James?
Yeah, they're all, if you're watching this on the VS Code YouTube, they're all there right now. Which is
great. Awesome.
Yeah, boom. They dropped.
Yeah. And did you know, James, we actually got Mr. Adi Asmani from Google to came and did the kickoff session for the live stream. Yeah, we were able to take.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, really super cool nice guy. And he went through his skills repo and everything. But it's just really cool to have somebody from Google there, showing off Gemini, the new Gemini integration and the CLI and all of that. So people should check that out. He's a smart dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's kind of nice to see like all the models kind of be everywhere all at once, and kind of talking through that, which is super duper great. Yeah, I really love that. I was pretty involved with the keynote and Kayla's part in the Windows section. I was talking to Pierce. He set up his new Windows PC. I was like, run this one script and you're done. And it's what I just set up my Ultra, and that's all I did. Got it working, which is fantastic. Boom. What did you get? That's not an Ultra.
I literally have no idea. I've asked for a machine and someone has delivered this to my house. So we're starting from scratch, but I'm going to make the switch over. So we'll see how it goes. Shout out Clint Ruckus. Like he's going to be so happy that I'm doing this. And I've already sent a message in our team channel telling Kayla, we should do another live stream. Pierce learns Windows. Like help me set up my machine. Because I feel like Kayla knows everything. And like I just need to learn from her on how I need to set up this thing.
We did an entire live stream, Kayla and I did, which was Kayla teaches James how to use the terminal, like Windows terminal.
That was one of my favorite live streams I've seen.
And like awesome. every 30 seconds, Kayla's like, turn on this. I was like, that's amazing. And then she's like, turn on this feature. I was like, this is amazing. Because I'm not a terminal person, as Burke and you both know. And I am a Windows person.
You like buttons.
You know, and I have Windows and Mac. So we're actually going to do some Mac development, funnily enough, from Burke's Windows app. I'm a cross-platform guy, right? So I have my machine here. I was just showing how to set up the CLI with Agent Client Protocol, ACP, not AHP, ACP.
Agent Host Protocol?
Nope, client.
You're talking about the Xcode thing? Which thing are you talking about?
Yeah, the Xcode.
ACP.
Yeah, there's
AHP is the VS Code thing.
Yeah, we got hosting and client. Interesting. Well, we're doing a whole, I'm doing a whole podcast, the VS Code podcast, vscodepodcast.com with Connor in 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about Agent Host Protocol because I don't understand it. And he's the person. Bridget said, go talk to Connor. So I'm doing that. But yeah, I was super busy with the booth, but also the keynote. I love this year's keynote. It was fantastic. So many new models. I've been nearly exclusively coding with MAI Code One Flash and working with that team, which is rad. I was just talking to Pierce that I do a lot of planning on high because like the token optimization is like so good. And then I execute with like medium and it just blows through stuff. It's like so good. And like sometimes I'll pop over to 5.3 codex, or maybe I'll review with some other model, but I'd say 90% of the time I'm like really satisfied with the results the first time from it. So if you haven't been checking out MAI Code One Flash, which is now 100% rolled out to all individual personal, not on business or enterprise yet, but it's on all personal SKUs.
In VS Code.
In VS Code.
I'm just looking at the chat here. What's up? What up from Mountain View, California? Nice.
Whoa.
Remember
Ooh.
this? I think it is.
That's in California.
We also got Kampala in the chat. I have been to Kampala, Uganda. I've been there before.
Oh, really?
Have you really?
Yeah, I have.
Wow.
It's been a minute, but I was there for 3 weeks one summer. So, yep.
2026 is turning out to be the year of the spark. Like the what does that mean? The
I don't know what
spark.
it means.
You talking about like the DGX spark?
Ooh, I
The
do.
NVIDIA thing?
No, that's true. Oh, maybe. Yeah. RTX Spark.
RTX.
There's multiple sparks, but the year of the spark, I guess you're right, because there's multiple sparks, just like there's multiple Burks, 1 through 5. What
This is
version of Burke?
5? Too
Is this the
dangerous to be released to the general public.
Is this the best version of Burke yet?
Yeah. Well, it's too dangerous to be out there, so you can't.
But
have
it's
it.
here. Also,
Yeah.
from
Sorry, I'm
Moldova.
also getting distracted because I'm looking at Burke's fan, and is that one of those like $700 Dyson, purifier things?
It's not $700. But it was like $300, which is a lot for a fan. It's a fan. But
I mean,
got
it
for
looks
me for my
super
birthday.
cool.
Dude, they're great, man. They make no noise.
Yeah,
It's like-
I'm making fun of you, but I have one. So
Oh, okay. That ain't it. I see that back there. That's the freaking $29 Amazon.
yeah, that's a Walmart fan if I've
There
ever
you
seen
go.
one.
Yeah,
No
I have one of
offense,
those too.
Walmart fans,
Yeah.
but yep.
Yeah, the problem with those fans, we also have one for mostly for the air purifier part of it, which is really good at because we get smoke season here. Is the real gambit on those is the filter. To replace the filter is like $80, and you gotta do it every year.
Oh.
So, just saying.
On the Dyson?
Yeah, dude, on the Dyson. Yeah, because it's is that I assume that one's an air purifier as well.
No. It's just a fan.
Oh, ours is the air purifier plus fan.
Oh,
So the air purifier, they're like, that Dyson.
you're in a different income bracket than I am.
Well,
James
you're all,
makes the big bucks here.
half of your state also isn't on fire every year, so you're probably okay.
Oh yeah.
Utah is.
Well,
Utah
I mean, but it is
but
Tennessee, so it's pollen, just constant pollen.
that's true. He has a
anyway.
different set of problems.
Do you get those plumes where it's just like now everything's yellow?
Oh yeah, your cars are just covered in it. No one can breathe. Everybody's sneezing. Yeah,
Yep.
it purifies your
Costco.
bank account. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I did get the Dyson from Costco, as one does, because if it breaks, they take everything back, which is great.
Oh,
Shall we cook? Shall we cook? It does
Yeah.
your bank account as well. That's true. No free ads though.
No free ads. Anything you want to highlight in this release, Pierce?
Yeah, so autopilot we shipped a while ago. It is now the default. So if you click on that little deep link there for me, it is now the default, and we've also done some more optimizations to basically make it even more aggressive at trying to complete your goal and not waste any more tokens. And so that is not a default. And so if you want to experiment with that, there's a setting right here to give it a try. So yeah, like basically we talked about the mechanism before. There was essentially some prompting and tools that the agent could call or the model could call when it felt like it was done previously. And now we have like another model that is basically a small utility model that's basically actually judging the effectiveness essentially of how much the task is done. And so you have kind of a second opinion you're going to as well. So you can see it to keep things bounded, like it's trying a maximum of 3 times before it stops, just so it doesn't like infinitely keep going, because that would also be bad. So yeah, give it a try and let us know what you think. Like, I know that for me, like I don't partner with agents the same way I did even 3 months ago, right? Like I think my trust level has gone up substantially. I'm running multiple things at once, and like I kind of just expect it to be done when I come back to that chat. I don't know about y'all. And like autopilot is a huge mechanism to make sure that actually happens, because even now, all of these models really do kind of like stopping early before they're done. So you do have to be quite forceful in the prompting and tool use and creative techniques like this to get it to do the thing.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I do think like, yeah, every time I'm working with things, every tool I check in a little bit different, as far as it goes. And then some of the activities I'm doing, I'm just like, yeah, okay, you're good. Just like go off and do it. I trust you. Because I've done it like 1,000 times.
I've been looking at the loop stuff a lot, just because like that's hot on Twitter, so we all have to stop what we're doing and like figure out what this concept is and is it actually worth knowing. And autopilot is essentially like our version of a loop in a lot of ways. Like you're reaching a goal, but one of the things I've been doing with it that we could try today, James, up to you, but basically so I build something, and then I'll go to Opus and I'll say, Opus, review this for accuracy, code cleanliness, general production readiness, and then review that result with GPT-5 and come up with a list of things that need to be fixed, ordered by priority. Then fix those things. Then repeat this process with GPT-5 until you both agree that the only items left have diminishing return. And then set that on autopilot. And because models are so good at like finding things to fix, it will just go on for like an hour, right? Because GPT-5 won't leave Opus alone and Opus won't leave GPT-5 alone. It's a great way to burn all of the tokens that your company has.
Is it
here? But also super interesting because you get really high quality results at the end of that. I mean, like every edge case is accounted for.
Is it different than like the normal like Ralph loop that people like? How does it differ from that? Is it like similar? I guess.
I think it's similar, right? But it's more of like a Ralph loop is more of a
script type of situation.
It's like a script. It's kind of like the most naive way to do it, like the most manual way to do it. Whereas autopilot's a bit like the agent is creating its own loop and it will decide when it ends.
It's kind of like when you're not just like rubber ducking, but you're like, hey, go do a code review and then, you know, use these 3 models and then judge and battle off against each other. And like basically that, right?
It's the same concept, except for it just loops. Like it just goes round and round and round and round on the code. Because what I notice is that like models are pathological liars, right? They just lie to your face. It's literally a pathology. And so like with all liars, if you sit them down and you pester them enough, the truth will come out. And so it's like these cycles of going round and round and round. You actually get to truth the more that I hate that I have to admit that loops work. I hate this. I don't want to admit this because it's the most like brute force way
Beast
to
loop.
solve something.
Beast loop agent. What up, man? What up, Oren? Yeah, bring back the loopy beast.
No, that thing probably is like 100 kilobytes of tokens all on its own. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Yeah, autopilot, big thing here. Agents window still getting all sorts of things. The background sessions updates there, so you can just kind of put them out there, and then browser history. If you haven't been using the integrated browser stuff, there are all sorts of like new enhancements and all sorts of goodies that the team has been doing. Look at all this stuff. There's like so much stuff. History here. You got favorites. It's easy. I use this thing every single day. It's like absolutely the best. Okay, let's cook it up. Okay, so here's what the plan is. Burke made a thing. Burke, what is this?
Many things I'm learning. Burke is always cooking up something new.
I'm always, instead of doing my job.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, James.
It's kind of your job to do that.
Yeah.
So what is this, Burke?
Oh, it's a real simple utility. This is like the 3rd time I built it too. It just like for folks like us, if you do a lot of screen recording, like Oren does a lot, if you need your windows at a very specific size, it's the easiest way to get like a 1920 by 1080 video that doesn't have your whole screen. Is just make your window that size and record just that window. But Windows doesn't have a mechanism for doing this. Neither does Mac, honestly, but there's programs you can install. This is a simple program, just as a Control Alt R on the active window, and it will resize it to a specific size. That's all it does. The reason why this is kind of interesting is because I was trying to see and I need to talk to Clint about this, James. When I was going through building Windows app, it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to build like a .NET app? Because then you need like the runtime, or do you want to build, I don't even know what they all are, but the executables can be enormous if you don't have the dependencies. And then I always felt really heavy for me for an app that just resizes windows. So this is really interesting because this is a Go application. It's written in Go. And I don't think, do I actually show? Yeah. So it looks like WinUI here, but it's actually not. This is HTML and CSS. So it's using Whales, which is kind of like Go's version of Electron. And the executable for this thing is 10 megabytes. That's it.
That's pretty good.
Right? Yes. So very cool. No dependencies. And that was kind of the goal in creating that.
No, that's nice.
I mean, for the 3rd time.
I think like it is definitely something that I do all the time. This would be a great addition for Clint just to add to Power Toys.
We're talking about that. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know how to add it to Power Toys. He's like, you just open Power Toys and ask Opus to add it to Power Toys.
Yeah, we could do that today, actually, which would be funny enough. But yeah, it's really interesting because like almost everything that I want to do is like in Power Toys. And I was talking to Clint about the same thing. I said, hey, we need to make it like really simple template to make little tiny WinUI applications on Windows. And there's a new CLI for WinDev that's out there, and new agents and things like that the team just released. So definitely check that out. Oh, Burke's live right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Inception.
I'm streaming this to
Boom.
my
Oh,
audience.
it's happening. Wow. All 49. All 49
Can I do
of them.
that? Can I? Am
Yeah.
I not supposed to do that? Okay.
No, you're good. That's what the button's there for.
Okay.
Yeah, so I use PowerToys for everything. And then when I'm on my Mac, it's funny because I'm sort of the same. Like I legitimately, like I built like tiny clips, which is fine. It's like same icon to take screenshots, do clips. Like you can come in and I can be like, oh, here's a region. This is basically a snipping tool, right? I built snipping tool here. So I can be like, oh, look at this. Boom, boom,
Wait.
boom, right?
Can I get a comp code? Are you charging for this thing?
Bro, it's free. It's free on the app.
Okay. I thought there was a stream where we were adding like Stripe or something to this.
No.
Look at this is nuts. This should not be possible.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so I built this. So this is, and then you can like move things around. And then also my favorite part is like, so I did this and then there's like timers and whatnot, but you can also then record a video. And then if you record a video,
work while we're on the stream.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then you can like do audio, video. You can have unlimited. So you can be like stop after 3 minutes, right? So I actually talked to the snipping tools team, and they're just going to include all this stuff in the snipping tools. I was like, please implement everything I did. So here, just like stops, and then you have this nice little trimmer.
Oh my gosh! This is
I was inspired by Burke's tool that he built on Windows that did something very similar, and then I was like, that's the cool part. Is like you can just build your own.
Yeah, but you took it way further than I did. Like mine worked, but it was kind of hacky. This like.
You can export a frame. So you can be like, give me that frame. Boom. People at Microsoft use this all the time. So anyways, yeah, Tiny Clips. It's on the App Store, tinyclips.app.
Oh, there's a tinyclips.dev you're competing with as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, mine's an app.
I was like, why is this Windows only? You're on a Mac. But now I see.
What's tinyclips.dev?
Got to work on your SEO, man. Another application. Go to the website right now.
Is it the same?
It's very similar in nature to what you built.
I wonder if someone did. I'm going to do it here because I don't know what my time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You don't know what your history is going to show.
Wouldn't it in this? Here's though the while we're pulling this. Oh, look at this.
Someone cloned it.
Is this your landing site?
No,
this is his competitor that he's trying to crush.
Tinyclips.app because mine's an app.
Wait, somebody took yours and made a Windows version already?
Or did I take?
I'm gonna fork you and do SEO. And just reship your thing. That's what I'm gonna do.
Both of y'all got purple gradients, so it's hard to tell.
I like that. Well, the question is, who came first?
Tell this was made with AI. There's no tell.
2 months ago. Oh, there you go. Inspired by Tiny Clips for Mac. Boom! Hey, contribution.
It's already there. How do I install this? Built with WinUI 3.
That's great. Jan, you could have just contributed back, bro.
Is it just tinyclips.dev?
No, well, that's on Windows. Tinyclips. I don't know anything about
that.
I
want the Windows one. I'm on Windows.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a lot of experience with people forking projects and not contributing back to the main one.
I got no problem. Next up, Jan, I'm going to fork your fork and then put it back into my...
Ooh, take that. All right, I'm installing it right now, though, because I need
Yeah, I'm excited. That's great. That's what open source is all about, and I am not mad at it. I mean, could have used a different name, but that's okay. But hey, contribute it back. Respect. I use ClickLight. This is from Aurora at Vercel. This is like, and I've been contributing. Look at this. Look at these. Ooh, yeah, you like that? Yeah, this is, and you can see how many times I've been clicking, and then I can do laser pointer mode. Ooh,
that is really nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Know about this? Is he still drawing arrows like without glowing things, like a caveman?
Well, and this is I just added, so you can go into, I added settings. I love a UI, and we have like this little thing here. But then you can also do profiles. So you can be like, here's what profile do I want. Then you do visual styles, so you can adjust like all the subtlety and then all your colors. So I have like custom colors, but I could do like, give me my primary, then everything's like, you know, primary blue, but I could be like, okay, give me green. And then you get different animations for different things. You can customize everything. And then you got shortboard key buttons, and you're like, how many times am I clicking? Like Aurora, that's awesome. Anyways, all sorts of little tiny applications that are great. So tinyclips.dev.app. I'm going to link to Tiny Clips Windows. I'm going to be so awesome at open source. I'm going to update my website to say, go update to link to the Windows app too. Cause why not? Everyone needs Tiny Clips.
Always listen. Wouldn't it be cool though, if in some future version of Windows, like there was a prompt and you could just say like, hey, make me a utility that like captures the screen or whatever. And it just does it, right? You don't have to worry about the code. You don't care where it's at.
That'd be cool.
You don't care about compilation, dependencies, anything.
Yeah.
It just shows up as an application. You just create them on the fly. You don't know anything about what's happening. You don't care.
I think Clint get on that. That's what I say. Clint on it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I've forked. Here's what I'm gonna do. Resize me.dev while you have resize me.app, and then we're gonna fight. So you have the Windows version, which is already cross-platform. I have nothing about Go, and nor would I ever write anything in Go. So
neither do I, by the way. Doesn't matter.
I know. Trust me. It does. Well, right now it doesn't matter. Okay, here's what I want to do. So I need a Pierce opinion. So I have this set up right now. I got Open Router in here because I was testing out the no sign-in stuff that VB showed off.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so I have all the models here. This is my personal subscription. So I got the DeepSeeks. I got the Nemotron free. This is just free. It's free. I don't know if you knew. It's free. There's a free version of it.
Is it good?
You like free things? That's nice.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, we can try to use it. Okay, here's what I want to do. I guess I would come here first into planning. And look, I have like a bajillion things. Yeah, when you go into, I mean, I think you're rate limited, obviously, on whatever free is on Open Router. But I have all there's my Foundry Local, there's my Open Router, all these things. And then there are a few ones that are just free. We can try to use that. But then my question is, if I go into my utility here, right?
Yes.
I currently have these as the Nemotron free, but let's say we plan first, and then if I switch to Fable, should I then switch the utility models to something else, like back to default? I'm a little worried that my Open Router, I only gave it $2, so I'm a little worried.
Why isn't that MAI CodeFast 1? Wouldn't that be the cheapest? Is that not the cheapest option?
That would be the
free option.
Well, so let me explain what this thing is. So in VS Code, there are a lot of background operations that you need a low latency cheap model to do things for. So a couple examples. Generating your commit message. You can use Opus for this, but a bit overkill, and you kind of want a response back fast. Same thing with generating like little chat titles you get, in chat. That's AI generated model, right? And so by default, actually, we don't charge you for those tokens in VS Code. We use what's a utility model and something called Copilot API. And currently that's GPT-4o Mini. Admittedly, that's a very old model, but actually we found that, like for generating commit messages and chat titles, it's perfectly sufficient. It's cheap, it's fast, right? Like, why would we change it? We have evaluated other things like some of the nano models that are out now. And so it's even faster than Flash, right? Because it's made specifically for this sort of thing. And so that's the default. But we added this setting because we found a lot of people wanted to run VS Code with local models totally offline without signing into VS Code. Well, then a lot of flows would break, right? You wouldn't be able to generate commit messages. You wouldn't have chat titles, right? So then what do? So then that's where this setting came in, is like, if you want to override it with a different model, or if you, for some reason, do want to use your Opus credits on generating commit messages, you can do so because we're all about developer choice here in VS Code. And so if you want to change it, you can change it to whatever you have, and it should support any model that is available already in your manage models dialog.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't show the ones from your GitHub Copilot subscription.
Correct.
It's only default.
Yeah, we do. I think like we kind of don't want like people to accidentally change this to Opus and then be like, oh, why are my tokens going up? Really, you don't need to do that. But if you wanted to bring your own key with like Anthropic or Open Router and do that for some reason, you could, right? Yeah.
So that's what happens when I set this up, Burke, I didn't even sign into anything. Let's say you don't even have a GitHub account. You can just literally say, let me just run in Foundry Local or Ollama or point to Open Router. And then you have to set a utility because then you need to set something.
Other things will break. Yeah.
Other things will break. So I'm going to set these back to default, but I'm going to try to plan on Nemotron and let's see what this does. So this is Burke's. I have a fork of it, so I'm going to do this thing first, which is called Mac OS Swift, and then I'm going to say, and this is what I like to do because I already have Tiny Clips because it's already a beautiful application. So I recommend everyone just install the Mac or Windows version. Oh, need access to the mic. Okay, perfect. Okay. Oh, it's working. Great. Okay. I never know it's working. Okay, here's what I want to do. Burke made an absolutely astonishing application, Resize Me, which you can see here. I want you to fully go and understand this application. And it's written in Go cross-platform, but we want to add a native Swift Mac application that is a menu bar. It's feature comparity, but it's super Mac native, has Maccy things, you know, Mac applications. They're in the toolbar. They got a settings screen. They have all sorts of stuff. And also, like, let's analyze this to see if there's any cool features that we should add to it to even make it even better than what Burke made. So we can contribute back to his awesome product because we're good open source contributors and we don't just go off and fork it and make our own website. But that's okay because we YOLO it here. Now, I also want you to make sure that we do all sorts of Mac cool things like Sparkle integration and a bunch more. I'm going to give you my Tiny Clips application repo that you can go and investigate. That's awesome already and is a native Swift application. Boom. I'm going to send that off.
By the way, quick call out that we are in the process of actually redoing the VS Code voice integration. So keep an eye out on release notes and insiders. Like there should be some things landing very soon on that front. Our friends at MAI have put out some great voice models. And so we're trying to figure out how we can utilize those.
Oh, I'm super stoked. Yeah.
Dude, in fact, I pulled up the voice model in the CLI the other day and tried to... I tried to see if it could understand Yellow Lead Better, that song by Pearl Jam. You know what song I'm talking about?
That's not my musical taste. I do know of Pearl
Chad,
Jam.
you know Yellow Lead Better. Okay, so listen to it. You can listen to it after this stream, but it's just gibberish. And it didn't recognize any of it because it recognized it all as music. It was like, this isn't you talking to me. This is a song. I just won't recognize any of it. I was like, that's actually pretty good. That's what you would want from a voice model. Just something that would ignore background music.
I like that. It's like, I'm going to look at I did see that it was like, I like how VS Code is like, do you want to install a Go extension now? It's like, I'm going to look at the README. It's like, oh, there is no README. That was for Burke's application. That was the first time. Like,
there's no README? Yeah.
README. It's like, that's not good. I don't even know if there's a Git ignore.
What do you need to read about? Just install it.
Install everything. So this is using, this is my bring your own key. So I created an OpenRouter account and I logged in. And I'm doing my planning here. I'm thinking I'll see if I get rate limited on this free Nemotron 3 Super, which is a pretty cool model. This is the model that Kayla was showing running locally on the RTX Spark dev box. So this is a 120 billion parameter model. I'm pretty sure
you run that on the Surface Ultra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, if you got the unified memory.
But don't you have that on this box?
I'm currently on a M1 Mac.
Oh, that's right. You have a Surface Ultra, though.
I do have a Surface Ultra. Yes. Yeah. It's a Surface Ultra that I'm not allowed to show anybody because I had the Surface Ultra for like 4 months now.
Oh, you're not allowed to like show it to the kid. Haven't they already seen it?
Yeah, but like when we test devices.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say. I'm not even supposed to say this, but like, yeah, you can't.
Oh, it's too late now
because it's not like final, right? It's not final.
Nice to know,
like,
yeah.
Because you're not supposed to like with hardware stuff. You can't be like, oh, well, this pre-release device had these specs, and the release device has different. You know, like it's a whole thing, right? So
yeah, exactly. And then like, and if like when I need to return the device, it's like a whole thing. I might as well just like drive to Seattle and drop it off. Like you're not allowed to, you're actually not even supposed to drive with it. You're not supposed to do anything with it because like it's a.
Yeah. Oh, I will say this model is impressing me right now in its ability to somehow think for several minutes about this task on medium reasoning. So,
and this is the free one.
It says free.
Get rate limited, man.
That's a lot of thinking on a free model, man.
Well,
the rate
I guess
limit is incoming. I'm waiting for it before we even get past the thinking.
Are we able to get into what's the debug chat?
It's show chat debug view. What are you trying to do right now? You want to see the logs?
I want to see if there's no, not that one. Debug. Where's the one with the window in the middle? Where I can see like token usage.
Oh, you want the new one? Okay, yeah. So sorry. Command Shift P, agent debug view.
Agent debug view. Logs.
Yeah. Sorry.
Enabling the settings.
And you won't actually. It won't work because you have to. It's from here on out. It'll work. doesn't work for the beginning. Yeah.
We're close. I should have had that. I have it. So what I was telling Burke and Pierce is that I have everything here on my VS Code. This is my non-Microsoft link. This is like my personal account that I use for like demos of like doing stuff. Man, it's fetching, it's doing stuff. And then the VS Code Insider is on like my work account. So bro is cooking good. How do you feel about that? I'm intrigued. This is like too much. This is too much thinking for me.
Yeah, I'm a little, and this is medium. It's very some of these like these open models have a little bit of strange behavior sometimes.
Yeah, it's just restating the obvious over and over again.
Yeah.
Is it looping? Are we getting the exact same output? I sometimes have that problem with local models. I know this isn't a local model; it's a cloud-hosted local model, but it's me.
I mean, this is a place, boys. This is a place where I would use the biggest possible model. And I would use, if it was me, and I would combine plan mode with grow me skill here and use like the biggest freaking model I could get my hands on. Because I feel like, and I want to know what chat thinks, but I feel like this is the most important step. Like this is the one you got to get right, because this is going to be the ultimate prompt. Because ideally you'd be able to one-shot it in a perfect world, right? If you could write the perfect prompt, you can one-shot anything theoretically.
Yeah, I generally agree. Like I think the place to, we're talking token efficiency, like the place to burn the more expensive tokens is the plan. Because in theory, you'll have and it doesn't necessarily have to be in plan mode, by the way. I'm finding myself using like the regular agent, like just don't make any, just like conversationally, like being like, oh, what about that and this and that? And that's kind of how I'm doing it. I sometimes am not even using plan mode, but essentially the same thing, right? I'll use like a high powered model for that. And then when I'm ready to actually implement, I take all that, I put that into a markdown file, right? So we just get the most compressed amount of output possible. And then I pass that. I was telling James, like my two setups right now is GPT-5.5 High. Shout out to all reasoning efforts being available in Copilot and also Max Context. And so that's my plan. And then my implement is almost always now the MAI Flash model. So that's like my go-to, and it's quite token efficient. And it also has been trained to be specifically token efficient, right? Because we worked with the MAI team to do so. And so it is pretty good with these sorts of things. And so honestly, that's my setup for basically everything now. Now the GPT models aren't amazing at UI. So that would be the one case where I might consider like, something else. But like, I think that I agree, Burke, like plan with the expensive model, execute with a cheaper model as a general pattern is like pretty solid, I think.
It's fascinating. I've been like oddly doing the opposite, which is like I've been planning a lot with like a smaller model, but on high reasoning. So like I don't know if that's better or you know what I mean? And then I'll like implement with like a medium-sized model, interestingly enough. I don't use really big models at all. Well, unless I really need something deep.
I'm still working this out, but theoretically, what you really want is you want big models to do all of the thinking.
Yes.
And none of the reading or the writing, because all of your input tokens come from grepping.
That's right. And that's why we use the search sub-agent. Shout out to the VS Code Insiders podcast. James and I did an episode on this. That's why we have a special model, even in plan mode, even if you select Opus, where we go to cheat model, because you don't want to use Opus for grep, because that's a stupid use of your
right. And the CLI does the same thing. It has an Explore sub-agent, which uses Haiku 4.5. And a lot of times people are like, I don't want it to use Haiku 4.5. It's like, no, you do, because otherwise it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Like you can do any trivial activity with Opus and then go look at your usage, and you'll have like 16 million input tokens and 16K of output tokens, right? Because these models are post-trained on grep, and they will just grep no matter what. And even if you go into a custom instruction and say, I don't want you to do any reading at all, they'll do it anyway, because they can't stop doing it. So the best way to do it is to create like a custom agent that just doesn't have the ability to do any reading at all. And it's like, yo, if you want to read, you're going to have to call a sub agent.
Okay, well, let's try that. So it did create a plan, but I'm not really sure that I like the plan at all. So it was a good experiment. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the thing. Okay, so I'm going to take the same exact prompt. I'm going to start a new chat. And I'm going to go to Fable. Hi. Okay. Okay, so do you want me to make a plan, don't implement yet?
Well, you're in plan mode, so
you're in agent mode.
Okay.
And I'm going to optimize. I'm going to optimize my. Why are all these checked? Get out of here. Boom. Okay. Plan, make a plan, make a concrete plan first. Don't implement.
Did you remove so if you go back to tool selection dialog after you do this, I wanted to see your VS Code selection that you had built in. So then you would want to change the edit tools, like just uncheck edit right there.
Oh, yep. Okay.
So the problem also though is like even this is not totally foolproof, right? Because the models are so capable now that they're like, okay, you took away my ability to edit files via the native tools that are provided. I'm going to use the terminal to write to these files.
Yeah, they'll just work around it. But you could just tell it like use a sub agent and a smaller model to read, and that's good enough. Like these models are freaking smart.
And it should, like VS Code should automatically sub agent, optimize, do the things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, it looks like
we're fabling right now. This is my first Fable.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I chose high, and I chose just my chose default mode, right? So default here we have high, and then just 200. I'm not a million person, and I'm not an X high or max person, so I'm just a default person. That's how I live my life.
I have a rant of the day I want to go on.
I'm ready.
James.
No, it already analyzed both code bases. It said that's way faster than the Super Nematron one. It was faster.
Yeah. Well, you were using a free model that you weren't paying at all for from another cloud provider, so maybe that's why.
True.
So my rant of the day is like I literally see people all the time saying like just run everything extra high max, like you'll get the best results. Even if let's just an unlimited money scenario. Actually, like we see in our evals and in our online data, that when people do this, they actually get worse results generally. And obviously it's way more token inefficient. And it takes longer and it takes more steps. And so there's the overwhelming majority of things that you think are very complicated for these models and need to be running extra high actually do not. And by making it generate overly complex reasoning traces, you're actually degrading your agent. And so I think it sounds nice to be like, oh, well, if I bump up the thinking, it's going to give me better results. But that is incorrect in almost every scenario. And so I think especially going beyond high is almost never recommended in my opinion.
Yeah, that's how I YOLO is I've pretty much, I think that like when I'm using Code One Flash, I'm doing some deep research. I'll do high because like the token efficiency is like so good on it, and I'm like the trade-off's pretty good. And then I'll switch right back to medium or whatever as well. Oh, this created a plan. This is like pretty good. We should have just started here, I think. Although I am terrified. It created a memory file. It doesn't even create these memory files. I want the plan in my repo, Pierce. Like, how do I just get it in my repo? I don't want it in these random memory files.
Yeah, memory is such a tricky thing because like it is very powerful. Oh, we're getting a plan back, so I won't go on my rant about memory. But it's very powerful, but it's also very difficult to get the dial in correctly, where like you're capturing the right memories at the right altitude. And then, so memory capture is hard, but also memory retrieval is really hard because of course you can prompt the model to always retrieve memories, but then every single agent trajectory will be reading your memories, which is also quite inefficient. So yeah, it's really hard to get the dials correct where it's capturing the right things and recalling them at the right time.
So is it done already?
It's done. $1.
Done. How many questions is that? Was that
it has 6 questions.
So that was 122 credits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that was, I guess now I have the
debug
logs. There we go. This is the new one.
No, is that the new? You might have to what? Is that the new one or the old one?
That's the new one.
I think you have to restart VS Code after you enable that setting.
No, too late. It's too late now to say sorry. I presented the plan here rather than writing it. Oh, okay. So you're saying at this point, what would be my next steps here that y'all would recommend here? Do I put this into a markdown file and I tell it to use a smaller model, or do I just tell Fable to implement it?
So I would not. I would probably kick it to a markdown file, but I would not use Fable to do that because that's just a waste of your tokens. You are going to break the cache though when you do this, so it might end up actually in a weird way being cheaper to use Fable. I'm not sure. It's a tough call because you have you have cache tokens. All these tokens are going to be cached, but you're going to be writing there's going to be output tokens to this file, right? Which are going to be the things from this plan, which are very expensive with this model. So I would use MAI Flash for this task. I would say, okay, let's move this to an actual doc. You need to give it the tool again. Remember, we removed the ability to write. That's why it didn't write to the plan.
Got it.
So now we add that.
Let's write this.
I like the Wright brothers made an appearance. That was interesting there.
Okay, so cache is broken. Cache is broken, people.
The cache broke when we changed the model, right? So all of these were fresh tokens we're paying a tax on, but it's still
does the whole prompt get the whole cache gets busted?
Cache is gone.
The whole cache gets busted when you change this.
Yeah. So the other thing that happens here is
if you change tools too. Yes. If I would have changed tools, gone.
But not the whole. I don't think the whole prompt gets busted if you change tools. I think it's everything after the change gets busted. Before it is okay.
No, so the problem, Burke, is that the tools are at the top of if you look at the agent debug log.
Oh, so it literally is everything after.
So you're getting a couple of cache tokens at the beginning, but the majority of it is below that, right? And so you're paying that tax when you're altering the tools.
Okay, so what about like custom agents? If you switch your agent, that's also going to bust the cache, but only everything below that definition, right? Everything above that.
Yeah, like if you go to chat debug log real quick for me, James, I want to show something. The old school chat debug view. Yeah. If you like scroll down to just one of these, like at the bottom, like at the last edit agent for me here. And then not create file, that one. And then we open this puppy up. Just if you scroll down, like you can see, this is the API request basically. Okay, so at the top, scroll up a little bit, sorry, even more. So you can see the tools are right there, right? So if you change the tools, this is the top of this API request, right? So like go down a little bit more.
Tools.
So yeah, so like the tools, changing those are going to bust it. Then you get the system prompt, right? So like any of these sorts of things are going to bust the cache, which is important because you pay different rates for cache tokens versus uncached tokens, right?
Yeah. Uncached writes for Anthropic models.
Yes, and so we're trying to figure out how we, like from a product experience perspective, how do you communicate this to because this could get very complicated, right? Like communicating all this. You don't want to do it. You just want it to kind of work, right? And so I think there's a delicate line between giving people education about when they're breaking, the cache for big things like changing model or reasoning effort or tools, but like not being overly like annoying. Like imagine if we just had pop-ups every time you break the cache. Like I think that would also be equally annoying. So like I think we have to find the right balance there.
It's almost like we should there's some sort of UI thing that we can do to like, you wouldn't want a modal, that would be super annoying, but just something that to like let you know that you're about to hard reset the cache. Also, just so y'all know, cache does not mean free.
That's correct.
It's deeply discounted.
Deeply discounted.
Right? Deeply, depending on the model. I think with Opus it's like 90%. With GPT-5 though, I think it's only like 75%.
If you go into here, you can see it. So
you can see it there. Okay,
that's right here. So here's Fable, right? So 1,000 in, 5,000 out. You don't use as many out tokens. And then 100, right? So it's like, it's 90% discount, which is like most of them, right? If you look at like MAI code Flash, it's like 7, right? So it's like, even less. Is very, very small. What should I do now? We have the plan, and this live stream is called Let It Cook with Claude Fable 5. We only had it come up with a plan.
So what I would do, go ahead, Pierce, do you want to?
No, I have nothing to say.
I mean, I think the options are YOLO it and really burn tokens, or do the thing that we should actually tell people to do.
No, what I would do
is that no, don't do that.
Here's what I would do. This is where I would say, review this plan with GPT-5.5. Make sure that everything is correct. Nothing can be improved or changed. Then implement those suggestions. Then repeat this until both you and GPT-5.5 agree that only items with diminishing return are left.
Okay, so you want it with like Code 1 Flash or a different model?
No, would do this with, you can do it with Opus. You can do it with, I would do it with Fable. Okay. Because again, like this is where you want to spend your tokens, is in the thing.
Okay, so make sure so review this plan with GPT 5.5
and make sure I would say review this plan with GPT 5.5 for improvements, changes, alterations, and otherwise anything that can be fixed before we implement it. List those things out in order of priority. Fix all of the items. Period. Repeat this process with GPT-5.5 until you both agree that the only thing left are low priority items with diminishing return. I should bundle this into a skill. It's going to be called Go Broke.
The only thing left is
items that have diminishing return.
Okay.
And then I'll put it on autopilot.
Oh God. Okay.
Now say goodbye to your token limit. And then you just let it go, man.
And this is going to work where it'll jump back and forth between GPT 5.5, or does this have to be in the CLI?
Will this work in the local agent peers?
We did recently make some changes, so it should work. Although now you guys I'm like, so now we busted the cache twice, by the way. Because
yeah, you're welcome.
We shouldn't have gone to Flash if we were going to go back to Fable, but here we are.
Well, wait, you can start a new chat here before you do this, right? You're going to bust it anyway. You might as well clear the.
Yeah,
you might as well clear the context.
All those tokens, exactly. Good call.
Yeah, good call. Okay, so this should work. Or do you want me to do it in the CLI?
Yes. Let's try it. Right.
Okay, we're not in insiders. We're in normal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We're in normal.
Weekly, man.
We're insiders and normal.
We're shipping week. I love how we all call it.
We're in
official normal branding.
Yeah.
Do you want VS Code normal or VS Code insiders?
I love it, man.
Okay, and I have the correct amount of tools set, so that's good. Okay.
All right, so let's see what's going to happen here. I'm not confident the right things are happening based on what I'm seeing already.
It says I'll gather.
Okay, review subagent with 5.5.
Okay, so it's we're getting there, you know.
And it's looking for 5.5 Copilot, so it knows. I should have turned off all my other models. It's like, let me look at all your active. Is there a tool call for it to know about the other models? Oh, it's doing it. It's happening.
Yeah. So if you hover, it should. Well, it was supposed to tell you what model the subagent.
There it is. You're a iOS engineer. Look at that.
Let's go. Engineering things.
This is the looping, like getting the model to prompt itself. Like there's something to this because these large models can provide these super specific high fidelity prompts to each other that we just can't.
Look, it's as a this is what it said. This is the prompt that it wrote, by the way. It's like as a senior. What's what it says? It wrote the prompt as a senior macOS engineer reviewing an implementation plan. This is the research review only, and do not write code or edit files. Context. So it literally wrote a prompt similar to the one that's coming from VS Code and the harness. That's like, you are an AI engineer, all this other stuff. So that's so crazy. Yeah.
I need to update my prompts to you're a junior engineer. Yeah. And see how that changes things. I actually am not sure that's necessary. Like that used to be like how we started all of these system prompts a couple years ago, but like now I don't even know that it matters, to be completely honest.
And then what I want to do after this, James, is do another experiment if this ever finishes, because this could go on for a while or not. Sometimes it's quick. But what you could try next is switching to a small model, like say Haiku, MAI Code Fast 1, don't switch to it, but like use Fable and tell Fable, hey, I want you to go ahead and implement this plan, and I want you to do all file IO using subagents with Haiku or MAI Code Fast 1. See if it will actually do that, and then whether or not the thing you get out the end is even usable. Because I don't know about the quality trade-off here, right? Ideally, if it can give the smaller models enough fidelity, it will be fine. But if the smaller models start to think, then we're in a lot of trouble.
We'll find out together. Yeah, if you haven't given MAI Code 1 Flash a try, please do. It, like we said at the beginning of the stream, 100% of individual plans should have it in VS Code. we're working on Biz Enterprise rollout and rolling it to CLI in the Copilot app as well. So it'll be available pretty much everywhere very soon. But like, we're very encouraged by the early results we're seeing on the model. But of course, like, it's our first model we've ever built. So we know there's probably a lot of things we need to improve as well. So please give it a try and send us feedback. And we're working super closely with the MAI folks to take all that feedback on a new rep of the model.
James, how many tools do you? Yeah, sorry, Pierce. Yeah, that is a good. I've been working with it myself.
It looks like it reviewed it. Okay, no, I have minimal tools. So I only have the VS Code built-in tools that are there. So I would say this is too many tools. Like, I don't need the browser tools. I don't need the other tools. Actually, like, I could have removed a bunch of tools. I'm working with the team on some tool set improvements, but that stuff's all changing. So like, I think it's beneficial to us have like almost like a minimum tools for just VS coding,
I feel like we got to be able to progressively load these tools like we load skills. Like, this just isn't going to work. Where
I there's a lot of kind of things happening in the research area here with some of the newer models that are coming out. So I think these things will improve. But yeah, I agree, Burke, because you kind of need the progressive tool disclosure. You don't want it to just be all or nothing, right?
Exactly. I have a browser. How do I call that tool? Oh, it's like this, etc. I guess tools don't work that way at all, but it seems like they should. Everything's just Markdown at the end of the day.
Good question here. So there's a lot of good questions in the chat. Wow. Well, this is just VS Code. So this is just normal VS Code chat, not agents window, not app, not Copilot app, anything like that. Someone said, is the chat output log the only way to see what sub agents are doing? And the answer is no. You can go and open the debug view so you can see exactly what's happening. So you can see run agent. You can see the token usage there, all the read filing it's doing behind the scenes. But there is, I don't have it. I enabled it later, which is the show agent debug logs. I unfortunately enabled it after, so I need to reset this. Oh no. I gotta retry.
No. Oh no.
Try again.
Okay.
No worries.
I wasn't paying attention.
I gotta retry.
Why did we have to retry?
I don't know. Didn't say.
So
sorry, no response was returned.
Yeah, that's an upstream model failure.
Which one?
We'd have to look at the log to know.
Oh,
because you're using sub agents. So
let's look at sub logs.
No, it looks like it was a sub agent. If you click there.
So something happened in the retry error tool.
It's at the bottom. Yeah.
That's okay. So reasoning. I wonder if that was there. We'll see. And then let's see. Someone was saying, yeah. So cache tokens are time-based and also specific to different model providers.
Yeah, it's also complicated because they do work slightly differently for Anthropic versus OpenAI. So yes, but like if you just search if you look at the OpenAI Anthropic docs for like how it works, I mean, it's the exact same in Copilot, right? So they actually have really good documentation on this in the API docs for the OpenAI and Anthropic models.
Yeah. And even though that retry was there, yeah, it will hit the cache here, so it's all okay.
But I think one interesting call out there. I don't know about y'all, but I'm often running many tasks at the same time, and I'm not coming back to threads right away, right? And so I think generally that is a very positive thing because I've been able to do more. But I think to the point in chat, this cache is time-based. It's not just there infinitely, right? I think depending on the provider, I think it's like 5 or 10 minutes. And in some cases they have more extended caches, but like it's very often that I'm not coming back to this thing within 5 minutes, right? Especially for how I work in and out of meetings and all that stuff. And so that's another thing to consider is like, if you're like, why does this not seem to work and give me a lot of cache tokens? It could be that the cache is expired.
I wonder if it timed out because I had that advanced autopilot thing on and we had autopilot.
I
wonder if it tried 3 times and then it did that. Oh, so it's updating the plan here. So far we have used, I don't know, like 300 AI tokens so far. So
by the way, on context windows as well, just because some folks in the chat are bringing this up, but like, at what point do you compact? And this goes back to, like, we've taken so much heat for so long over not allowing for full context windows.
Yep.
And one of the things I've always tried to explain to people is that, like, just because it offers a 1,000,000 token context window doesn't mean you want that. In fact, you definitely don't. Because not only does the model get confused, but the bigger your context window gets, the more thinking the model has to do, because it has to account for all of that stuff in the context window. It gets confused. You can see it. It'll be like, oh, it's this. Oh, wait, no, it's not that. It's this. Oh, wait, no, actually, look at this over here, right? It's confused with all the context. Yeah. All of those are output tokens. All of that is expensive. So the cleaner you can keep your context window, the less thinking the model has to do, the cheaper it's going to be just in general. So I would say it's quadratic, like the growth looks like a bell curve, right? So when you start, it goes way up because of the system prompt and everything. And then it starts to come down the more that you prompt it, but it's still moving to the right. And so what you want to do is like just go up and then kind of just stop and then do a new one.
Got it. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think also, like, you know, if people are doing stuff and they're like, hey, I have, you know, tons and tons of tokens, like actually clearing it out and compacting it may or may not be good, actually, right? Because when you compact, you're going to bust your cache too. That's going to happen. So if you haven't finished the task, I mean, that's also something to consider. Like once you compact, the cache is busted, right? Yeah, I mean, granted, if you're 5 minutes in on Anthropic models, the cache is already busted.
Well, and then somebody who was at Marcus was asking me about this the other day, and he said, but when I compact, I get drift. And which is fair. And so then the other answer is use sub agents to do everything and keep it off the main thread.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As much as you possibly can. Yeah.
And VS Code does a lot of that anyways, and so does the CLI. I think I have never really prompted this way, Perk. So it's really fascinating, like how you're writing your prompts versus how I write my prompts. Because look, it's doing another pass. Fascinating.
It's still reviewing. This is what I mean.
Yeah, I've never told it to like explicitly use sub agents to go do a thing. I've never done this, but like now I am, and I think that's really interesting prompt. And it's using 5.5. So.
And I think it's one of those things, James, that like you're like the system should take care of this. And to some extent, I do agree. Like we need to have good defaults and force the right behaviors. But at the same time, you know, English is kind of how a lot of us write code now, right? And this is like the next way of programming, agentic engineering, et cetera, et cetera. And so the techniques that Burke are talking about here, it's no different than how you reason about like architectural choices and things like that. It's like, how do you prompt? What are the trade-offs with these different approaches? Of course, there's no one right approach, right? And so like, I personally think that like, there's, especially with the speed and which things are turning over and these best practices are being reinvented, like there's an enormous need for us to like, as VS Code and GitHub, educate developers on like, here's what's working for us, right? And the techniques that we see working, because I think this is kind of like the equivalent of how we used to argue over syntax, right? And the architectural trade-offs we made is like, how do we prompt these things? Because that's the new way that we're actually writing our code, right? That's the new abstraction.
Yeah. I do think the harness needs to do this for people. 100% agree with that. Like if we're all out here clipping coupons all the time, it's going to be miserable. Like you just need to be able to go in and do the thing and trust that the harness is going to give you the most bang for your buck.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I actually just use auto for almost all. I would say right now I'm doing a lot of like Code One Flash, just like testing. So I'm very targeted picking it. But in May, I only used auto for, I'd say 98% of my job. And it worked out great because it's doing that model routing on the back end automatically based on your prompts. And that's pretty nice. And then obviously the sub agents are doing its thing. I wonder how long we should let this go for before I actually implement it. I am curious.
I mean, I let it cook, but you can stop at any time. And
I don't have any.
I don't have anywhere to be.
I don't have anywhere to be. I don't have a meeting until.
Yeah, I got another 30 minutes here, so like let's keep rolling.
So what we could do then, if you want to, is we could talk about some token saving strategies because we've been thinking about this. Izzy's been thinking about it. James, I know you've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. So I've been writing this up. It's preliminary, but I don't mind like going through and just talking through what we have right now.
Well, because don't we also have like, did we put in the new slash commands for Chronicle, or no, I think that's in Insiders, right?
Well, you're on the local agent. So
But I think they added it to the local agent in.
Oh, did they?
But in Insiders, I think. I was on. So if I go, let me open up my trusty friend integrated browser, and you go to a small website, code. Ooh, well, look at that history. Wow, cool. That's new. And if you go to updates, Insiders, I'm pretty sure there it is. Add Chronicle, cost tips.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Anyways, what your cost? I'm ready, Burke.
Okay. Cost tips. Here we go. You got ready,
Cost
folks?
tips. I'm ready.
These are subject to change after I review and see whether or not they all hold up to scrutiny. I haven't got that far. First one, never, ever, ever read files with big models. The number one thing that counts against your budget is your input tokens. You usually have, unless you're planning, you have way more input tokens than you do output tokens. Output tokens are more expensive.
And I have a comment on this, Burke. You want to know what the number one tool in terms of token use is?
Grep.
The read file.
It's read file.
30%,
yeah, it's got to be
30% of tokens in an agent trajectory, which is like the full path to get from beginning to end. 30% of the tokens from tools is read file tool.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
Sounds completely legit. So we talked about this. Input tokens are taken up by models grepping because they're post-trained on grep, because grep is the answer to the AI doesn't know about my entire project. Okay, well, we'll just have it read your whole project, right? This does not, you don't want this. And so there's two different ways to handle this. The first one is you can create a custom agent that, like I said, and I've been playing with this, so it uses like Fable or Opus or GPT-5.5, and just don't give it the read tool. And then tell it if you need to read, you need to call a sub agent to do that. And the sub agent can read, and you need to use Haiku 4.5, GPT 5.4, any MAI code fast 1, and you need to tell them exactly what you're looking for, right? Because these models, the small models can't think. You don't want them thinking, but bigger models can write really high fidelity prompts, and then the small model can just go do. So that's the first one. Even better than that is if you know the project well, you can mention the files specifically. I know that's a pain in the butt. I know you just want to go tell the agent to do it. But if you know where auth is handled, just go ahead and mention that file and tell the agent, like, don't read anything else. You have everything you need right here. I totally
been doing that. Like, for example, this is a great point, because I think we used to do it all the time in the beginning when like we just wanted to steer the model a lot better in the early days of models, like a year and a half ago, right? So you'd always be like, add a file, pass number 3, Burke 5.5. But the thing, I was just working on my iOS app, my cycling app, and I'm working on like the live, dynamic island thing. I know where the file is and I want to make UI changes. So I'm like, here is the file. Like, here is the code. You need to look nowhere else. Like, all of the code is here. No need to look anywhere else. And it's like, cool. I attach it just like I attach this plan, right? So
yes, totally. And if you ever watched models grep, the way they grep is so generic, right? So if you're looking for dynamic island, like this is a crude example, but it might just look for the word dynamic, which could be anywhere in your project. And then it's going to start following code paths from that. Like we need a better way for models to read context. Grep is just the most naive way to go about this.
That's why I'm glad that we have our, and we need to get the models, prompt them more aggressively to use it. But that is actually, like, despite everyone being like, all you need is grep, like, that's actually why I'm quite optimistic about our semantic search models that power like a lot of our code search on GitHub. Is like, we've recently also expanded those to work for Azure DevOps repositories and any arbitrary repository. That didn't used to be true. Semantic code search used to only work on GitHub repos. And so I suspect like the biggest challenge now for us there is like the models, to your point, Burke, are trained to use grep, and so they have a strong preference for doing so. And
correct, they will. That's just
the main challenge. But like, if we can overcome that, then I actually think like that is a huge path to saving a lot of tokens for our users, right? Because then, to your point, like, we're not just doing incredibly naive keyword-based grep search, right?
Yeah, totally agree. And to your point, that models will grep anyway, especially if they hit a wall. So like they'll try to use the semantic search, but if they hit a wall and they hit a problem, they just immediately fall back to grepping to solve the problem. Well, we post-train these models too much on grep. It's really hard to get them to stop.
And Pandonia here is asking, like, what would that prompt look like, basically, if you were doing that? And by the way, the rest of we're past 3, only diminishing returns are coming back. So I think we're getting ready to implement. But what would your prompt look like in that case specifically? Like, kind of what I'm saying here is I'm like, just use sub agents, and the sub agents have the read tool. No. Right?
So again, remember, you're not prompting the smaller model. The bigger model is prompting the smaller model. So you want to use a big model like Opus and tell it, hey, if you need to read files, you need to use a sub agent. And if you're in the CLI, you can just say, use the Explore sub agent, and that's all you have to do. The CLI knows how to tell Opus what to send to the Explore sub agent as a prompt. And then Opus will send that Explore sub agent like a prompt that's like this long in terms of what it's looking for. And then Haiku will go search your files and get like hundreds of thousands of tokens in context. We'll find the exact thing and then return back up to Opus just what it was looking for, which is like 5 lines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what you do. I do think there's something to this idea of like, don't prompt. Instead, write a prompt that gets the model to prompt itself. This idea of loops.
Interesting.
I know this sounds like I'm just making things up as I go along, but there's something.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
Okay.
We talked about avoiding long sessions with many turns. Also, like, the other thing is I did a little bit of math, and even like if you have a fully cached Opus prompt, if you send Haiku that same prompt cold start, it's still 1.5 times cheaper than Opus. Cached. Right. So like these bigger models are exponentially cheaper than the smaller ones. I just want people to understand that. Always use sub agents. We talked about that too. We talked about why that is, smaller models reading, and then also keeping things out of the main context window so you don't have to compact. Reducing rework. So when my first job out of college was right after the 2000 crash, and the only job I could get was upgrading computers from Windows 98 to Windows 2000 at Jimmy Dean Foods, and it was a hog slaughter facility. And then when I got done with that, so I'm upgrading computers while like the slaughter process happens in the background, and it was very loud. Pigs are loud.
Where's the story going?
I just want people to understand, like, this has been my life. So then when I got done doing that, they're like, we need you to build these systems for this this thing they were doing that was like trying to improve the manufacturing process. And what I learned from working with these folks was that there's this concept of manufacturing called rework. And it's very simple. It's just some part of the manufacturing process failed and you have to redo it. And that increases costs a lot in manufacturing. So what they're always trying to do, what you want to do is you want to manufacture the widget at the lowest possible price point. And the way that you do that is you eliminate the rework. So you want to do the same thing with AI. If you have to rework with the AI, in other words, you prompt and it gives you an answer, that's not it. Let's go back and do it again. That's rework. And so in order to reduce that, what you're going to do is what we're doing right here. Is you're going to do more upfront planning. And you don't have to do what we're doing here where we're burning.
This one did find 25 issues the first time, 11 issues the second time, 2 issues the last time. It was a very costly prompt.
Yes. No, it's
but we expected it to be a costly prompt because that was our intention, by the way.
Yeah.
Right, but the idea though is that sorry, Pierce, just real quick. The idea is that we're accepting up front that we're going to pay a big chunk here, knowing that down the line, again, what we're ideally in a perfect world, what we want to get to is a one shot from whatever we do here.
It's happening.
If we can pull that off, we're saving a ton of money.
Well, we're going to see if it happens right now. Yeah.
So I was just going to say, like, there's this like psychology thing that I think a lot of people feel where the agent sometimes also will produce something and you're like, oh, I just need like to fix these small little 5 or 6 things and then we'll land in the right place. And you feel like you can't walk away from that because you're like, I already burned the tokens. I already spent the time. I already have an implementation that's 80% of the way there.
Some cost. Yeah.
But like actually in many cases, what I found is it's better to say, okay, like the models are really, really bad actually at small iteration. Ironically, they're better at these large plops of things. And so in some ways, like actually starting over and like having a better formed prompt to address the things that you don't like in a very weird way, maybe actually cheaper, not just from a tokens perspective, but also your time. Because I think we've all had this experience where like it's 80% of the way there, and then 3 hours later, you're like still 80%, 81% there, and you're like, but I was so close. I was 80%. But these models have a way of deceiving you, right away with initial progress. And so like, but from a psychology perspective, that feels totally wrong, right? To be like, I'm going to start over because it's never been true in engineering before. It's just throw it all away, right? Let's just rewrite this. That's like a worst practice for any engineer, right? Is like doing massive rewrites all the time. But like in with AI, like you have to reconsider everything. And I actually think in some cases that may be a better path than just trying to keep iterating with the model to get the right thing. To Burke's point about mini turns, else you're like an hour later there and you're like, this thing still doesn't do the thing that I wanted.
Is it? So what's it doing, James? Is it actually calling the smaller model? Is it trying to do it itself?
Oh, no. Look at this. Even in the to-dos that it made, it said subagent. And it said specifically, so after we found the 35 bugs in the original one, it says, I'll orchestrate implementation and dispatch MAI code 1 flash subagents for the actual file writes. First, let me check the build tooling available. So I picked, so it understood like what it has to work with.
Did we update the plan though? Or we're just continuing on?
Oh, it did. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. No. Like up here, it's like we patched. It went 4 passes. It found 25 issues, major restructure, found a whole bunch of issues with itself, did another technical accuracy pass, did another issue with little tiny things, and then it was like, cool, we're good.
Oh, interesting. Like up top, it bumped some stuff from phase 1 to phase 1.1. It was like, you don't want to do this here.
Yep.
You need to do this first and then do this. See, that's fascinating because this is exactly the kind of mistake a model makes where it tries to do something too soon and it just fails because some dependency isn't there. And then it just never adds it.
That's correct. Yeah. So
Burke, I have another tip.
Yeah.
So I've noticed this thing as well where like the models, I guess to their post-training distribution, to your point, they're also very trained to like prematurely write tests and run tests and use that. And that can sometimes work, but also like it can result in a lot of bloat in your loop, right? Because then you just get all of the test runners, you get all the test outputs, all of that's being shoved into your context. And especially if it's like, I don't need to write the test right now, like that can contribute to a ton of burn because it's not even just running the test and getting the output, right? If anything is wrong, it's going to obviously loop over
it's going to spin on that.
And then that just becomes its own thing, right? And so that can also, I've seen in some of my loops, like contribute to a lot of token burn prematurely. Like, of course, tests are good, but if it writes them too soon, then it can really like cause a lot of significant token burnout.
So there's some good tips from the chat here as well. So Dissect is saying rip grep.
Rip grep's
good.
To saves a lot with get ignored files. Do we don't read get ignored files, do we?
Is that no, we don't do that either.
Yeah. So core count git nexus on GitHub indexes any code base into a knowledge graph. I don't know what git nexus is. I've never heard of that. Does Blackbird do the same thing if you're on GitHub?
Yeah, like, I mean, we basically have custom models with, a semantic understanding of your code, and we're doing a ton of things on the back end to make that happen. There's a great technical blog post. If you search Copilot-embeddings, that is the custom model that our team has built specifically for this purpose. And there's a ton of things on the back end for like, calculating the semantic embeddings and things like that, and retrieval and different things, elements to that algorithm. But
yeah, so we're trying to build this stuff into the harness. And in fact, this has existed for a long time.
Yeah. So this was, we had that before it was popular.
Yeah.
And then I think there was like this predominant theory in the AI world that you don't need any of that. And then actually, I think it's not even just us, some of our competitors as well. Like you're starting to see a return of these things, especially as people want more token efficiency, right? Because like grep is effective in a world where you don't have to pay tokens. But
which we lived in for a while.
Which we did, yeah, totally.
Well, we don't live there anymore.
No, you're not. And you do kind of have to rethink some of how you partner with these things if you're trying to be more token efficient. And I think you can do so in a way that doesn't really change the output, the quality of the outputs you get. But like you definitely have to have behavior change. And we got very used to a particular type of working. And now we're having to kind of rework, and relearn how to do things, as you mentioned with all of your tips.
It did decide to write tests. It created a test folder. I don't like that. I don't like where it went with tests. You know me, no test.
You can always steer it.
Yeah, I'm letting it go.
You're afraid to touch it.
I'm afraid to do it. I will say it is, by the way, here using MAI Code 1 Flash to do all the sub agent stuff. It did listen to me. So
it did. Okay, perfect.
It did. Yep.
Oh, look at that. Wonderful. Okay.
They're popping in.
Question.
We got files.
So here's another comment that I want to know what y'all think about this, because I have thoughts. One of my biggest tips, I would say, is LLMs are insanely good at handling and understanding rambling. You can tell it exactly what you're thinking, and it will figure it out.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah,
that's why I speak to it. That's why I speak to it. You saw my original prompt.
I did. Yeah.
It was me off the dome. I say it's off the dome into GPT. It's into and it's typos, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's why the speech is so important. How I write our connects. This is how I do my connects, by the way. So let's say I'm writing Pierce's Connect, which is like our annual review every 6 months.
Reviews. Yeah, performance reviews, by the way.
Performance reviews. And I literally open a Word doc and I have my prompt, which is like the question. Yeah. And I off the dome, I just go. And then I use M365 Copilot in Word. I'm like, fix all my gibberish, right? And make it cohesive. And then I read it and make sure it's still accurate. But like, it's pretty freaking good.
I hope you're using a high-powered model for my Connect. Like, that's where I want you to spend the expensive token.
All the thinking. Yeah.
Extended thinking plays on Pierce's impact this year.
Oh, gosh. That's great. I'm interested in this.
Correctly. Models, that's definitely true. So if you're correcting your spelling, just stop doing that.
Yeah.
On the rambling, though, anything that is going to cause the LLM to be confused. So when you say ramble, what I think is, well, here's what I want you to do. No, actually, don't do that. Do this. Well, let me think about it. Let's do this, because that's how you think, right? When you think, you say something, and then you think about it as soon as you say. So I don't know for sure that that's true. Yes, they can understand you, but I don't know if that gets you a better result. I think that if you were able to perfectly articulate your ideas, which no one can, that's the ultimate, that's really what you want, right? So the better you are at articulating yourself clearly, the better results you're going to get out of the model. But that's hypothesis. Maybe that's not true.
Yeah. Well, then do you think that you would then go into a mode where you ramble and you say, okay, like, don't actually think on this too much. Like, don't look around and do stuff. Like, just help me improve this prompt. Like, would you go into like Open Copilot or ChatGPT?
Yeah, that's where like grill me and plan would come in. So you ramble like you did into grill me and plan. And then its job is to think through your mess and then work with you to scope that down to something that's really, really high quality.
Interesting.
You know, the grill me skills like 4 lines, something like that. It's like 4 lines of text.
All right.
Yeah, it's all it is.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's so weird though. This is why it's kind of strange sometimes giving advice, because you're like, it doesn't matter, just say whatever, right? Like, and it corrects everything. And yet at the same time, you have something like the grill me skill where it's like so concise and like it makes a big difference, right? And you're like, it's so weird because some things matter a lot and some things don't matter at all. And I mean, we see that in our offline evals too, right? Like, you know, you're like, what is the purpose of this very random thing in the prompt? And then you remove it and it affects the resolution score drastically. But then there's other stuff in there and it's like, it probably makes no difference. So like, like we fully don't really understand these models or what they're doing.
Totally. And we just live in non-determinism now. And so it is possible that you could just ramble into the chat, set it to Haiku 4.5, and it would one-shot the app for you. That is possible. That's not out of the realm of possibility. These things are like a slot machine. All we can really do is like increase the odds that you pulling that lever will give you a good result in less tries. I think it feels crazy that this is the world we live in now, considering we're programmers, but that it just is.
I want to really quickly pause. We got a lot of questions about sub agents. One, VS Code and the harnesses and the CLI. They'll automatically spin up sub agents for you automatically. You can also just tell the main agent to spin up sub agents to do stuff. Now, by default, it'll use a default model. If you say sub agent, here you can.
That's just for the Explorer agent. Yeah.
You gotta turn on the Explorer agent.
Yep.
Oh, it's not even on. Why is that off by default? There you go. Look at it.
That's a great question.
Allow invocations from subagents. See, I'm always in Insider, so everything's on by default for me. So basically, these here are the default models that you can choose for the Explore subagent. But else it'll just like use like, you know, default things that automatically for subagents. But that's what it was spinning up, because there is a tool, agent run subagent. Like there's a tool call for that that is built in. But
it's automatic all text and tools. That's all we got, and that everything is built upon those two mechanisms.
Yeah, I bet this is happening a lot slower, because like ideally this would have spun up a bunch of subagents to go do the things all simultaneously.
Yeah, we could have. I wonder if you could have fleeted that for quicker results.
We don't support fleet in this agent harness that James has selected, but yeah, if you're in Copilot CLI, that would work.
I have selected the default local.
Which
I did have this thought the other day, and I actually posted this, that like, I feel like one of the main problems we have with AI right now is that it's slow. And what that causes is then it's like, well, okay, we're not going to sit here and watch this work. So the answer then is to start doing something else. But you don't want to watch that thing work. So the answer to that is do yet a third thing.
Yep.
And now you're officially a slopopotamus, right? Like you're in slop territory.
Sloperator. You're a
sloperator.
You're just slinging things.
Guilty as charged.
But
guilty as charged.
I'm gonna give a shout out to our folks at Cerebrus here, because I was talking to them at Build and they had like Chemi 2.6 running. If you've never played with Cerebrus, it's instantaneous.
Literally 1,000 tokens a second, which like for context, like right now we're probably getting like 100, 200 max, right? So yeah, like it is crazy how much faster it is. It works. They have a Cerebrus extension, vscode. Install it. Works with bring your own key. So go give it a try.
Listen, it's not cheap, but once you use it, it's really hard to go back. And what you realize is that human beings, you are single threaded. You just are, right? You work best when you're doing. Think about it when you were coding, right? You're in the zone, man. You're like fully immersed in the thing. Now you're not immersed in anything. And the reason for that is because AI is slow. If it was fast, you would become very immersed in the interaction with the AI. So I'm somewhat convinced that speed is the actual unlock that we're looking for. It's not a smarter model that we can just send off to go do things and not work and trust that it's going to do the right thing. It's a model that we can get like in the zone with and move it like, 100x faster than we move today.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, and I think Bojack's asking like why am I using VS Code? Obviously, we're on the VS Code YouTube because I use VS Code primarily as my way I work with agents. But I use all the tools. Like I'm inside of Agents window. I'm inside the GitHub Copilot app. I'm inside of the CLI. I kind of use them based on project preferences. Like I always have a CLI open to my work folder, so I can always just hold down space and just talk to it and fire off things for it to do all the time for me. Yep. And then if I'm there, sometimes I'm like, well, I'm already in the terminal. I'll just like spin up another tab or whatever. But I find myself either mostly in the agents window or inside the Copilot app because I like to manage multiple sessions across things at the same time. But funnily enough, like if I'm just working on a project, like what I'm doing now, like a project where I'm like, I'm going to be focused on this project. I'm not going to let the agent speed or whatever. Like I don't want to work on 1,000 things right now. I will literally just open VS Code or Visual Studio. I'm like, I'm working on this thing today, and that's what I want to work on. Now, I might spin up multiple sessions inside of it, but I'm like, I'm not going to distract myself because it's so easy to do. Like, because you have this idea to go do these things. And what I'll try to end up doing is I'll just like delegate that to opening, while something's spinning, I'm like, let me just delegate that to a cloud agent. So I don't want to think about it right now and like let it cook. So it's not happening on my machine. So, yep.
Pierce, can we talk about changes coming to local chat?
Yes. Yeah. So that's actually like a really good point. So like, I think we have some comments here like, hey, like VS Code works a certain way. Copilot CLI works a certain way. VS works a certain way. JetBrains with Copilot works a certain way. Xcode works a certain way. Copilot Cloud Agent, which is the thing on github.com, works a certain way, right? And you're like, like, both from like a developer perspective, like it's kind of weird, like all these things I get slightly different results from. They have like slightly different configuration, things like that. That's kind of weird. Obviously from like a building a product perspective, you're like, okay, for each of these, it's not just the engineering effort, but you also have the data science effort, right? There's a lot of behind the scenes work for each of these harnesses. And so what we're actually working on right now is basically unifying all of our agent harnesses, which is like the agent dropdown thing you see where you see agent, Copilot CLI, etc. Yeah. All of it will basically essentially be Copilot CLI. There's some packaging differences, and we will utilize like what makes each environment special, right? We have special tools available to us in VS Code. VS has things like the debugger and profiler agents, right? With special tools. So those things will still be available. But the really cool thing about this is like you'll get the same experience, the core experience from the agent everywhere. You don't have to worry about your customization files looking in different places and things like that. And so I'm really excited about this because it's definitely true that like there is problems with quality, consistency, and then I think like someone is calling out even feature availability, right? Like things are in CLI, but they're not in VS Code, or they're in VS Code, but not in VS, right? And if we implement a lot of these features, which they should be, right, at the agent loop layer, right, then we package that thing up, Copilot SDK, and then we put that in all the environments, and we make sure that we're adding it, what makes that environment special to the tool set and the user experience we built there. Then I think actually this is going to be awesome for every GitHub Copilot developer, because you can also imagine like it unlocks other things. Like I could start a session in Terminal and then go to VS Code. That already kind of works, but like then I could go to VS and then I could go to JetBrains, or like you would never actually do that, but like the continuity of the sessions, if you want to move between tools, will also improve, right? So there's a lot of like really cool things that are in progress right now. Of course, as we already said, there's a lot of like there's science to this and also art of this harness work, and so like there are known unknowns and unknown unknowns. And so I suspect that it will not be one of those deals where like we like even when we swap the default to be Copilot CLI harness, that like immediately like the other one disappears, right? Because there's going to be like a period where we're going to have to say, okay, like, like this was an experience I got from VS Code, but not from Copilot CLI. And of course, these things are non-deterministic, so you're not ever going to be able to iron out all of those things. But hopefully, all the behaviors that we really want to stomp out, we find quickly, and then basically move over all of our IDEs to use Copilot CLI as the core agent loop harness.
And that stuff's already happening, right? Like the GitHub Copilot app already uses that and I think the IntelliJ stuff already uses it.
Yes.
I don't know about Xcode. Yeah, did Xcode switch over?
Xcode is using Copilot CLI via ACP. We also have the extension. It does not currently use that, but I think James put out a video showing the ACP integration and Xcode, so you can use Copilot CLI there. We're literally working with the Xcode team, had a meeting yesterday, where we're working through like how we make that an even better experience for people working in Xcode. So so this is already kind of like somewhat in progress.
I think Visual Studio too. I think Mads was talking about at Bill.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't want to get over my skis, but I feel like, because I was sat on the bus with the fellow who works on the Visual Studio team, and I'm pretty sure he told me they are moving in that direction quickly. Yeah. You can imagine, Bojack, there's your answer. It's essentially the CLI harness everywhere. Same slash command, same functionality, same harness. You can resume session.
That is actually the thing we need to, that's one of the gaps that we found actually, is like there are a lot of CLI slash commands that are implemented at the CLI process layer and not the agent loop layer, which the SDK is the agent loop layer. And so now like we're working with the CLI team to basically say, okay, like why is like, slash clear or
compact is one of those.
Right. How do we bring that into the loop? Because if it's in the loop, right, then we can deliver it everywhere day one. You don't have to have this weird thing, right?
Yeah.
So
you know what we did? We Tarantino.
By the way, I gotta run.
You gotta go. I got another 20. It's really close.
I'll stick around. Yeah, I got nowhere to be.
This is fun. I'll see you guys.
All right, see you, bud.
Yeah, I like to say we Tarantino'd it, right? Because we started with like the agents inside of VS Code, inside of Visual Studio. We kind of started with it's integrated in this thing, and like now we're Tarantinoing it, which is like building the CLI and then building the app. You know what I mean? We're like reversing course on it and then smoothing all that stuff over because things are moving so fast. Since we were like one of the first ones with GitHub, with the code completion. So we Tarantino'd it.
Yeah, that's an interesting metaphor for that. I like it. But yeah, everything is kind of converging, which is exciting. There's a couple of other comments here, James. Like this one, they said you're doing insane work. As I went to Pi personally. So Pi, if y'all don't know, is like it's a foundation for building your own agent harness. It's actually what powers OpenClaw. And I went to Pi personally to build my own that I need. It made me find a new respect for anyone working on harnesses. Yeah. It's a nightmare.
I can't imagine.
A lot of evals. Let's see. Hasn't the Unify been somewhat in progress since the drop of the Copilot SDK? I think I don't know the timelines.
Yeah, I don't know the timelines. I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, hard to say, like, that's like so long, potato. But I mean, obviously discussions, of what we're going to do. Well, I mean, you also had like the CLI come into, this background agent's been here for a long time now, right? Which is using the CLI. Now there's like a local one.
Yes, that's what we called it at first, but it was actually using the CLI, and now it's like in there as the CLI, and it's not clear. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
again, none of this is an issue, and I don't think we're far off. Pierce is gone, so I don't make promises.
Now we're off the rails. So
okay, couple other comments here. Can you perhaps in the comments, so we can copy it, give us the prompt to activate subagents?
Just tell it. It'll automatically do it. It automatically does it for you. But you can also just tell it to do it too.
Yeah, you don't need these magic there's no magic incantation that's going to save you here.
No magic. I mean, if you look
at what you can ask for.
Yeah, my prompt here, if you remember, was not that one. It was, where is it? It was under this one. It was go use subagents. I mean, I could literally come here and do pound run subagents and just tell it. It's a tool. You just be like, go do it. But it automatically do it with the explore agent. So if you don't have the settings and do explore, like what you really want to do is turn on the explore sub agent here, the research agent. It's like really good. So it's like, turn that on. It's on in insiders by default. I haven't used Blue VS Code in probably a year. This is my first time booting it up. I think it's like, last night I had to update everything, and I already have an update. So
perfect. All right, let's see what else. Is this still GitHub Copilot? Yes. Everything we're doing here is GitHub Copilot.
All GitHub Copilot. I did in the very, very beginning. I had Open Router configured. So
still Copilot though.
Still Copilot. Yeah, it's still Copilot. Yes, correct.
Am I going to do any more videos? Yes. I'm going to do one. I'm actually working on one that I'd like to get out this weekend because, James, I had this tweet that I put out yesterday as well, where I just feel like right now what I'm hearing from people is they're overwhelmed. We're shipping them too many features. There's too many skills. There's too many MCP servers. People can't keep up, and they're getting overwhelmed and they feel super frustrated. And so what I want to do is make a video, because essentially, in my opinion, 99% of everything that's out there is just noise. You don't really need it. You just need to understand whatever harness you're working with really well. And then you need a few core skills and MCP servers around that. And that's it.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make a video. There's like 10 things I think we can go through. And the rest of it, you can just kind of like watch out of the corner of your eye, try it, see if it works, if it doesn't work for you. But yeah, I just feel like there's this downward pressure, James, that like you and I, or you, let's say you, have to come up with some complex workflow of skills and MCP servers and magic words that somehow is going to deliver the promise of AGI. And that just is not true.
We did if you go to mergeconflict.fm, that's my podcast. Oh no, merge.
There
you go. I don't know why it didn't redirect. Oh, I don't know. Probably the browser didn't do a redirect. But
yeah, those embedded browsers aren't fully. Anyway,
we did one that was called, where's it at? We have no skills. So 506, we have no skills, which is me and Frank talking about for 52 minutes on this specific topic about that, about everything you're talking about just that entire world of what everyone is kind of saying all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we talked on that for a long, long time, which is so true. And I would say this is I very rarely, I have like for my work folder, I have a core set of skills that I use, but very rarely in coding, I have like very many skills at all, or MCP. I don't know. I keep it light and trim. That's how I like to roll. That's just my opinion.
I totally agree. Yeah, this stream of news is overwhelming, so I had to develop skills just to aggregate it and call out what applies to my. Now that's a good use of a skill. Yeah,
that's a good use of a skill. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like chat, you could just go in and say like, "Hey, write me a skill to save tokens," and it will write you a skill this long, and you can publish it and be like, I wrote a skill to save tokens. Does it work? Irrelevant.
That's true. That's true. Someone was asking, how do you force it to use a particular model? Just tell it the model name and it'll do it. So you just tell it. I mean,
I wish it was harder than that. I wish there was more insight.
I wish there was magic, but you just tell it. So I was speaking of videos. I've been so busy. I have been really slowed down this year on video creation, off, because it's like nights and weekends on my personal channel. But I want to do one, which is all the ways that I bring Copilot with me everywhere, because also there are about 20 different ways of using, obviously not just Copilot inside of products on your desktop, but also like on the road, right? You have like tunnels, you have remote, you have the mobile app, you have the agents window now with AHP. You have all these different ways of doing it, but I was like, what if I just sat down and like, here's all the different ways of how you enable just coding on the go with and without a computer, even with your computer shut. Like there's 1,000 ways of doing it.
Yeah, because there's a ton of ways before remote to do that. The other thing is like, me personally, my method of working is still the Copilot CLI inside of Visual Studio Code. And the reason for that is that you shouldn't, like, we do this all the time, but ideally you should never, ever, ever run an agent on your own machine if you can avoid it. Like in this case, you're building a native app, so you kind of have to. Yeah. But if you can run inside of a dev container, or you can run in a code space, or you can SSH into a different server and do it, this is what you actually want to do, because there's no way. It's fine for personal projects, but the enterprise is not going to let your agent just YOLO, and the agent is no good to you if it can't YOLO. And Visual Studio Code supports natively all of these remote ways of working. It just works. Yeah. And so, I'm with you. I think the remote stuff is super powerful. And I think a lot of, I don't know for sure, but my guess is a lot of enterprises probably sleep on this because they won't let people turn on YOLO mode. And so instead they make them sit there and approve and the answer is actually get that freaking agent off your box right now and into an environment where it's hermetically sealed. And so it can't hurt anything. The worst thing it can do is wipe itself out. No big deal. Just start over. And that's worth investing in, folks. Go to your CIO and tell them.
Now, the reason what's interesting about this, what I'm fascinated to see how this goes, is as it's been iterating, whatever it told it to do, whatever the loop that it's running is, it is going step by step, and it's validating itself along the way. So the reason why this is actually taking a long time is it's not just reading and doing stuff, but it's doing builds. It's doing active builds as it goes.
That's what the sub-agent's doing?
The sub-agent is running builds along the way as it's making changes to make sure it's not breaking anything along each step, which is really fascinating.
Did Fable tell it to do that?
That is hard to say.
Oh, Cecil's here. No way. What's up, Cecil?
Hey, man, what's going on? What about folks with YOLO in the sandbox environment, MXC? Yeah, that's also true. MXC, which is the new containerization there. Now, that is... MXC is making the calls into a sandbox. I don't think it's running the entire process in a sandbox. Like a way of doing like it would be like, hey, I'm in a dev container, which is its own sandbox, right? Or there's not like cloud sandboxes too that they were showing off. I need to go deeper on it, but like MXC, from my understanding, is so there's WSL containers, which would be running the entire like process in a container. But the MXC, I think, is actually running the tools in a little sandbox. I have to double check it. There's like multiple technologies that we did, but I think that was it. But like inside of VS Code, as you can see here, there's the sandbox. So you can enable like sandbox calls and things. I have it turned off because I YOLO, but because I don't best practice myself. But there's all of these sandbox things that you can set up.
The second you turn all that stuff on, it's really hard to use. I just want to be honest. It's really hard to use the agent. My recommendation is maybe we need to do a whole thing on remote and just like, y'all get a freaking VM or something set up at your company, remote SSH into it from Visual Studio Code, and then just continue on like normal. You won't be able to tell that you're not on your own machine.
Yeah, or like you could use a code space, or you could use
That's even better.
container. Yeah,
that's even better because code spaces have protections against key exfiltration.
Yeah, codes. I use it, and you can literally go down here in this bottom left, and you can just say like continue working, but you can just create a dev container or a code space. Like you can, it's all right here. It's in this little button. This little button, super powerful. Look at that. It's like super powerful.
You just click it and that's it. And it does. Reopens and you're there.
Yeah, it does it.
Should we use the Docker sandbox? Yeah, you can try. Again, I would try anything, whatever you have to do to get this thing in YOLO mode, do that.
Yeah. And it really depends, right? For me, for example, like since this is a Swift application, like I need a Mac environment, right? When I use the Cloud Agent, which is a Linux runner, it literally will say, hey, I made the changes, but I couldn't validate the build because I'm on Linux. It literally says that. It like knows. It's like, I don't have the tools. So that's where like some of this important stuff comes in, is if you're able to kind of create an environment that's really good. Oh my gosh, I think it's so close. I'm so excited. This has been a long
complaining
run.
About Twitch and the follower only cooldown. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I'll have to go check those settings on the Visual Studio Twitch.
So if I have a corporate GitHub account, are you suppose I could spin up a code space to use? I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, totally.
Even if you're on the code space usage is so generous. It's even if you have no subscription, like just the free, I think you get free code space usage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it does spin down pretty quick. So you got to kind of wiggle like a little bit. You got to click around a little bit, because the agent doesn't count as like interactive. So it's like an interactive click. So like,
really? It will spin down if the agent's running.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You can configure it. No, it does. Trust me, because I did all of my work on the CLI in a code space.
Oh, that's good to know. That's no good. We need some setting to say like.
There's a setting to say
agent or something.
Yeah, that would be more intuitive in a code space if there was a setting that was like count that stuff as a turn. Yeah, like right now I think it does.
Yeah, because again, anything that's going to interfere with what the agent is doing is a problem and has to be removed from the pipeline.
Yeah.
But it really does hurt me when I talk to these enterprises and they're like, yeah, we don't allow YOLO mode here. And it's like, I hate to hear that. Because that just really like you're just kneecapping the effectiveness of AI. The whole point is that it should be able to work autonomously so that you can do other things.
Well, the workaround, right, that a lot of people just do is they'll just add everything to their auto approve list.
Yeah. Well, that
also is worse in a way.
Right, and I understand why enterprises don't allow a YOLO mode, because you don't want something that's just going to kill a production database, but also your agent shouldn't have any access to that. It should be in a world where the worst thing that it can do is waste a couple of hours in tokens. That's it. But if it can wipe out a database that you need, you got to fix that.
Yeah.
It's buying a Ferrari and limiting it at 20 miles per hour. Yeah, they're driving around. They're like, this car is not really that fast. They're like, no, it ain't.
I'm wondering do you think that all of these sub agent calls was more effective than just like having Fable run it?
I mean, it's hard to say. Again, I think was it cheaper than having Fable run it? 100%. There's no doubt. I don't care how many turns those sub agents made. They're just exponentially cheaper. The question is whether or not you'll get something running out of the end. And then like, was it worth all this time waiting? Could be. I'm also curious, like, how fast is MAI code 1 Flash? Is it faster than GPT-5.4 mini with no reasoning?
And
the other thing is, I don't know in sub agents that you can set the reasoning level, because what you really want here is a small model with no reasoning. Don't think it all, just do.
Correct. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I was talking to Hanselman, and he's like, we were talking about some demo. He's like, what are you doing? Just a thing? He's like, just set it to no reasoning. Actually, funnily enough, on Merge Conflict, we did another shout out, just like self-promotion.
Shameless.
It's shameless. We did an entire thing, which was, plan first, think less, save tokens, improve code, which was all about why you shouldn't really ever change the thinking, or also why you should maybe think less often. So it's funny because like when I am coding, the reason Frank and I talk about these topics is because like we're literally coding and using the tool, and we're like, oh, should we set it to this? Should we set it to that? Why are we doing that? And then we're doing research on it and talking to people like yourselves, right? So Hanson was like, yeah, just put it on like no thinking. And I was like, yeah, but then what does it do? And it's like, it just does the thing you tell it to do. It doesn't think all the things through, right? If like literally the main agent is like, go write this file, I just go write this file. It doesn't need to.
Yeah, the only thing is you need thinking somewhere in the pipeline.
It's like a low then. I mean, you need someone to think, yeah.
Well, you need someone to think, correct. So like, again, like we talked about, if you were able to write the perfect prompt, you don't need any thinking. But you can't, because the perfect prompt would be like, hey, do this, then do this, then do this. Prompt engineering is just giving the model the answer that you want. That's all it is. But we can't do that as human beings. And actually, somebody pointed this out here. Humans are not good at clicking allow over and over and making the correct decision. Yeah. Whenever you're just trained then to just keep clicking allow and not looking at the actual answer here.
Oh, 100%.
All right, someone's at the door, James. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Get in the door. All right, we're going to try to, I am setting up right now. It looks like it's running all the tests, and it is fixing up a few things in the tests. I've also asked it to scaffold out a .vscode folder so I can actually run the thing, but it has generated the entire application over here. And let's see here. Run the Swift code. Cool. So I'm going to allow because I'm just running it. I think it's done actually with the app. I'm curious if it actually builds successfully and runs. I think it's not. I think the other agent is running said tests. So I'm seeing if it actually passes or not.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of testing and building, and I'm actually curious. Like, I feel like I could have added instructions that were like, don't build until the end, just like I trust you, right? Yeah, don't test at this point. Don't write tests, especially for a demo. Like, obviously, if we're trying to get the most bang for our buck, then this is actually what we want. We want it to do everything that it can do in the first pass.
That's true.
But we're in a demo. So we didn't actually want that.
That is true. I did have
a demo one-shotting without one-shotting.
That's true. I just had it create a script for me to actually run stuff. So I was like, I'll go create a VS Code folder, task folder for me. So this is another.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my new. Yeah, you can, because it can just run the Swift app. It's not.
So what's the other one on? Like, I'm curious. Like, how much code has it written? 16. So it's not really written that much code. It's not a lot.
Not a lot. No.
It's doing a lot of work, though.
It's doing a lot of work. It's working. Oh, this one. Oh, now this one's changed. Oh, that one.
Also, you've also got Flash on, but again, you can't delegate reasoning.
Well, this is the main one here. This is the one that's just writing the little script or whatever. So I can stop that one. It wrote the script for me. This is the main one that's like, it's running and doing stuff. It says all 28 tests are passed. Earlier failure, flaky tests, it's executing. So it actually finished everything. I'll say write a git ignore. Okay, that's good. So hopefully this is all right. It's now revalidating itself. So what's interesting here is now it's revalidating in the Swift code that it wrote. That's what I'm seeing here. It compacted the conversation. So close. Oh, that's quick. Oh, did it? No, did it? I said it did. I want to just run it. We're so close. Cool. Okay, there's I wrote the git ignore file. Whew, thanks for all your Go and Node and all the other stuff. Perfect.
Fix downcast warnings. I don't even know what that is.
That's Swift stuff. Because the only thing was
warnings.
Yeah, the only thing was, which is good, which it normally does not, by the way. This is the first time I've ever seen a model actually care about the warnings.
Yeah, usually they don't. They're like, this doesn't impact the build. I don't care about it.
Yeah. I look, I created a memory.
It's like as if warnings mean nothing at all. Just ignore them.
Ignore them.
They might as well not, just forget.
I'll open up Xcode and be like, here's all these things. Oh, don't output all this stuff. You don't need to do that.
Oh, here we go.
These are just wasted tokens.
Done.
That was
building cleanly. All 28 tests pass. All right. So we got a complete test suite.
A complete test suite.
Can you run and debug? Where's your tasks?
There it is. Keep.
Ah, okay.
Keep. I have to keep.
You can keep all.
Keep all. Where's
I haven't done
my?
that so long because I use the. It doesn't. Why isn't it finding the?
Oh, tasks. This is the
You need a
task.
launch.json.
Oh, come on, bro.
What's the context window of Fable 5 with GitHub Copilot?
The Fable is going to be, you can decide it's either 200 or 1 million.
You don't use 1 million, y'all. You don't need that.
They're more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Models have biases. They also have blind spots because they're trained on different data sets and they're really good at checking each other.
Yeah.
It's overpowered strat. The other day, somebody was like, yeah, I have a Codex subscription and a Claude subscription. And they're literally like copying. And because I think there's a Codex plugin you can put in Claude code so you can run them both. So they just have 2 subscriptions. So they can do, yeah.
I guess you could just have it, right? You could just have it inside of VS Code. You have all the extensions and all the different subscriptions. That's interesting.
Also, it's running.
It's building, man.
There's no way this works one shot.
Bro. It's definitely going to work.
LLDB is not supported? What's that?
Oh, I need the LLDB extension. That's the debugger. Because it decided to run it.
Oh, it's launching it in debug mode.
It's running it in debug.
Yeah.
Because, of course, why wouldn't you? That's actually probably what you wanted to do. I'm already there. Oh, man. I'll say create one.
Create just a run.
Okay. Create one, no debug. When in doubt. I might need to like reboot the things.
Would it have it easier to implement this with WASM?
Well, I mean, you implemented it in Go and web stuff.
Yeah. It was already cross-platform.
It already was. Yeah.
Except for it wasn't though, because none of the API calls were all Win32. So, right? Yeah. Because the Go executable wraps the Win32. So it would not have worked.
Why is it not running?
The app launch was hard to be good. Man, see, this is when it comes to Swift, man, I jump into Xcode to actually fire it up because I can't ever figure out how to get it to run.
Dude, I'll tell you this much. I do the same. Like 99% of the time, I literally just open Xcode because it's like the debugger just works and just like runs it.
Everything works. And sometimes Opus will even tell you, it'll be like, yo, just open Xcode and hit the play button.
Yeah. I probably need to like, my window's too big. I probably need to like, reboot or whatever. So it actually, it's probably like install the tool thing and then was there. Okay. Open an existing project. And then
where's it at?
Projects. Resize me. Oh, that's the
Go one.
It's the Go on Mac. There it is. Oh, and it even created an Xcode proj. Thank you.
Nice. A lot of times you don't get that.
Often you don't, but my Tiny Clips does. So it did the right thing and it did it. So that's good. Oh, this brought in a dependency. That's why I probably need to spin that
keyboard
down.
Shortcuts dependency. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I see you. I would have not, it did ask me. I actually should have had it do its own thing. I should have had it just implement it from scratch and not use another library, but that's fine too. It's processing. I mean, it actually built. So it did build and it knows it's there. So it should run.
Well, we'll see.
I can barely see anything in my toolbar. So that's good.
I feel like this is going to validate all of the things that I've said. All of the things that I've said on this live stream
my heart is like
completely invalid if this doesn't work.
My heart is like pounding right now. I've never been this like so much anticipation because I have a meeting in 2 minutes.
This is the fun part of vibe coding. It's like, okay, now what did we get?
What did we get? It is processing a lot of files. It's like it does all these.
There shouldn't be that many.
I mean, it has to process it. It's indexing once, so then it'll do.
Can you expand your folder? Oh no, wait. Here we go. Is it running?
Well, it's not in debug yet. Run.
What?
Building. Okay,
Oh,
it's
now
building.
it's building.
Oh, it was indexing first. It was like,
Okay, so just
oh,
ignored
okay.
the.
Build successful. Oh my, I'm so worried. Attaching. Running. So slow. Come on, M1 Mac.
Okay. The window's a little bit small. Permission. Oh, you need to grant permissions.
Yep.
Can you not resize the window at all?
Nope. And this is fun too because permissions are like.
I wonder if this looks to me like a small model thing. This is exactly the kind of thing a small model would do, is make a window that small.
Yep. Yeah, why did it do that?
Okay.
Okay, did it? Okay, then I'm just gonna.
Well, that's nice.
It definitely has all the things.
Okay, so it looks exactly like mine.
It looks exactly like yours. So how does it work? I don't even know how to
well,
do it.
It's on Windows, it's Control Alt R. I don't know what it is here. I don't know if it would be Command. Yeah, that's the irony. Somebody said the app is called Resize Me, but you can't resize the window.
Okay, so there's no icon, so that's good. So Control Option.
So you go to an active window, Control Alt R, but on Mac it could be Command Alt R. Of course, you wouldn't know because you can't see the window, so you don't know what the.
And the question is,
does it not list the keyboard shortcut?
It does. It does say it's right here. It's accessibility, grant permission. Oh, I did. Okay, so then because how Mac apps work, you have to relaunch and you have to replace it. Don't add it, replace it, and then. Okay, I did it. Did I do it? I don't know if it got the. I don't know if it got it or not. The accessibility things are tricky. Oh, it did create a nice little settings window. Yeah, the onboarding thing did not seem to work. It gave you credit right there.
Go back to shortcuts.
Shortcuts are controls. It even did like a
Option R.
Option R, but it says I don't have the permissions, which I definitely do.
Where does it say that?
If I go here, it says grant permission. It says accessibility permission not granted. So it says it doesn't have it yet, but it definitely does. Okay, man, so close. Okay.
So here's what we would do. What I would do is I would repeat that same thing. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but what I would do is repeat the same thing with 5.5. It could take forever, but I would here maybe just so we can get it working.
The getting started is sized wrong. The permission check.
Explicitly remove and re-add the permission. You just did this though with yours.
I did. The tiny clips. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah. Normally I have to like remove it and then you have to go back in, add it. This is a Mac thing. It's like it doesn't think it is. And then normally you have to then restart
the app, which it tells you. Mac will tell you that.
It's a pain. And usually it does it there, but it is like,
okay. Can you resize the window?
Okay, cool. Oh! No! It did it!
Oh, it worked! Can you
it did it!
So all we'd have to fix then is that initial window.
That initial window. Whoa.
But y'all, keep in mind, we implemented that with a small model.
Whoa. Bro.
It freaking works.
It freaking works.
Yeah, 5.5 would slam it. So would Opus.
Wow.
But we did it with a tiny model.
Wow.
Do it again.
Do it again. I got to go to a meeting. This has been Let It Cook.
Way over.
Until next time.
Oh, it feels good.
That feels good. All right. I'll catch you later, Burke.
Bye, chat.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.